Here are 5 key tips that you need to know if you're planning to sell on Amazon or if you're currently selling on Amazon in 2025. And the most important things that you need to be mindful of if you're actually looking to make 2025 to be the most profitable of the year for your pre-existing Amazon business or also for your new Amazon business as well. Now, this is something that not only has helped me over the last 4 years of selling on Amazon, but has also helped my other 602 active students that I'm currently mentoring right now inside of my one-on-one mentorship program. So let's get into it. So when I talk about mindset, people really think about selling on Amazon in a completely wrong way. In 2024, people said that selling on Amazon was too saturated. Well, lo and behold, I have over hundreds and hundreds of students that have been able to make millions, if not tens of thousands of dollars per month with their own Amazon businesses. So selling on Amazon isn't too saturated. Saturation or competition is more so about a mental block than anything else. So when you think about the wealthiest 1% of individuals, right? They don't view the world as scarce in opportunities. They don't view the world as scarce in their availability or their opportunity to be able to make a lot of money. They view the world as abundant in resources and abundant in opportunities, so that way they can make the most amount of money that they possibly can. Well, the same exact thing applies with selling on Amazon. Any single person that's not inside of my mentorship program always comes to me and says, Shane, selling on Amazon is too saturated, it's too competitive. But the thing is that they just don't understand the right way to go about it to navigate an overcrowded market that's selling on Amazon. So if you're looking to sell on Amazon, don't think that it's too saturated, because to date, there's over 900 million products sold on Amazon US. So how we counteract the issue of saturation and competition is more so from a mental frame than anything else. But we also implement something called a 70-30 rule. Now, you guys had heard me talk about this so many times if you've watched my previous other YouTube videos. The 70-30 rule is basically my way of ensuring that each and every single Amazon store is built out in a way that's going to hedge competition and ensure that there's consistent sales month over month. So what this means is not having a niche store, but more so having a general store, wherein 70% of the products that you're going to be selling are focused in major categories. Categories that people are going to be buying products from day in and day out, no matter what happens in the world or no matter what happens with the economy. And the other 30% of the products that you're going to be selling are going to be focused on more seasonal products, right? At the time of this recording right now, we're in January. So I obviously know that there's an influx of people going through the new year, new me phase, which essentially means I know that there's a higher amount of search volume for fitness products throughout this time of the year than anything else. So I can cater my product research more towards those fitness products. But by ensuring that you have a 70-30 rule in place, this allows you to have a consistent stream of income while also leveraging high spikes in sales month over month. Now, second to that is really just ensuring that you're focusing on the customer experience when you're selling on Amazon. The reason why Amazon has been able to dominate over 30% of the e-commerce market for so many years on end is just simply because they're more focused on their customers than anything else. So what I mean by this is selling on Amazon isn't just a game of where when a customer buys a product from you, you don't have anything else to do. That's not exactly how this works, especially considering that we're drop shipping. We need to focus on not only when we make a sale, but also ensuring that the product gets delivered to the customer in a very timely manner and also in a correct condition. So there was a recent stat that came out that said over 60% of Amazon's revenue in 2024 was generated by third-party sellers like myself. So this means Amazon places such heavily reliance on individuals like us to bring money into their platform. But what that means is they also have a very important ranking system that is called the account health metrics that every single Amazon seller, more oftentimes than not, needs to ensure that they're taken care of, or else they won't be able to sell on Amazon for a long period of time. And in all honesty, this is where a lot of these horror stories about people selling on Amazon and then getting their accounts deactivated or suspended come about, is because people are ignorant to the fact that they're only focused on making money rather than maximizing the customer experience. So the account health metrics are basically set up in 3 different ways. You first have your customer service performance, then you're going to have your policy violations, and then you're also going to have your shipping performance as well. Each and every single account health metric has specific targets that you need to be within or that you need to be above to ensure that you are in good standing from the eyes of Amazon. And this is basically what Amazon utilized to differentiate what's a good Amazon seller and what's a bad Amazon seller. Now, thirdly, we are also going to have suppliers. Now, this is basically one of those most important things where if you don't have the right suppliers with an Amazon business, you basically don't have have a business at all. So getting into the suppliers, it's important to understand that you are never going to utilize things like AliExpress. You're never going to utilize things like Alibaba, no Temu, no Shein, nothing that is going to come from overseas, especially with Trump being in office right now. There's going to be numerous different tariffs, duties, import taxes that are going to be applied to all products coming from overseas. Hence why it's important for you to source within a domestic marketplace. Now, the biggest question people have for me is thinking that this is going to increase the product cost, which is actually going to decrease your margin, which in fact is true in all honesty. But here's the thing. People don't come to Amazon because it's the cheapest, right? People come to Amazon because it's fast, it's convenient, and it's relatively seamless for them to buy a product on the platform. So despite the fact that the product cost, because we're sourcing domestically, increases, it has no effect on your profitability or the amount of sales that you can make, simply because it goes into what we call perceived value. When people buy a product on Amazon, one of the most important things that they're considering is how long is it going to take for this product to come to my doorstep, considering that this is a third-party seller. Now, my fourth tip for you all is understanding the right tools that you need to use. This is really important because I've been seeing numerous amounts of people spending absurd amount of money on tools that are not, generating an ROI for them. So you need one tool for product research, and this is usually going to be a Google Chrome extension. You need another tool that's going to help you understand what products or what brands are what we call reseller friendly. Basically meaning that if you were to resell a product on Amazon, are they going to file an IP claim against you? Now, thirdly, you're also going to need another tool to help keep track of all your profits, help keep track of the products that you're listing, the brands that you're working with, the suppliers that you're sourcing from, and so on. Now, when we talk about the product research tools, this is going to differ based on what business model you're actually doing. So if you're doing Amazon FBA, there is going to be different tools that you're going to need to utilize that give you the right amount of information. But if you're doing Amazon dropshipping, we truthfully don't need that much information or that much data to make a well-informed listing decision. Because we're never risking our own money up front before we actually buy a product, that basically puts us in a scenario where even if I do my product research in an incorrect way and I list a product that's not actually going to sell, it doesn't bother me because I didn't spend any money up front. Versus on the other side of that, if you look at Amazon FBA, well, you need to make sure that you're doing your product research really well, or else things are going to go a little bit south. So when we talk about the tools for product research, basically all you're going to want to know is understanding what the bestseller rank is for a particular product, and then also understanding the estimated amount of times that a product sells month over month. This can differ from person to person in terms of what tool you want to be able to use, but what I've been using over the last 4 years and what I encourage all my students to utilize as well is going to be a tool called AMZScout. Now, my last tip for you guys is coming down to the most important thing, what I call an income producing activity, which is just simply product research. At the end of the day, product research is the one thing that's going to put money inside of your pocket, is understanding what sells and what doesn't sell on Amazon. It's kind of like your $1 million question, I guess you could say. Now, with product research, we're going to utilize different tools, different resources to help us understand what's good and what isn't. For example, inside of my mentorship program, I teach people 4 different product research methods, not just one, because there's many different avenues that you can take to help you identify what's profitable in what different major categories that you may or may not be selling in. But the important factor that we always look at for a product is called the bestseller rank. So when we talk about the bestseller rank, this is otherwise known as the BSR. This is the one data point that we look at to understand how well a product does in correlation to all the other products that are being sold within that major product category. Let's say hypothetically, if a product has a BSR of 1, that means that it is the #1 product sold within that product category compared to all the other millions that are sold in that same product category as well. But be mindful here that the bestseller rank is not always 100% indicative in regards to whether or not a product actually sells very frequently. So what I mean by this is because sometimes you're going to have products that are listed on Amazon that are not entirely going to reflect the amount of value that that particular customer actually receives. So whenever you're trying to analyze what is called that bestseller rank, just be mindful that sometimes you can be the one as a third-party seller or as someone selling on Amazon to actually bring down that bestseller rank. And this is what we do inside of our mentorship program, is understand exactly what is the price to value equation, and is a product priced in the right way that's going to allow the customer to understand how much value they're receiving for the product, depending on the price that they're actually paying. So if ever you see a product that has like 1 million BSR, don't be daunted or don't shy away from it. I would still try to look a little bit deeper into those product listings to get a better understanding in regards to what exactly I should do with that product listing, whether I should list it or not. So to wrap things up, the 5 things that you need to know when you're selling on Amazon in 2025 2025, or if you're looking to sell on Amazon in 2025, you need to have the right mindset associated with actually scaling your Amazon business. You really need to take care of account health, because this is the one way that you're going to be able to actually sell on Amazon for a sustainable period of time. And then third to that, you're also going to need to utilize the right suppliers. Please, for the love of God, do not ever utilize something like AliExpress, Temu, and whatnot. It's just not a sustainable way to be selling on Amazon, even though the product costs are extremely cheap. And fourth to that is really going to be focusing on certain factors like utilizing the right tools. Okay, so making sure you're utilizing the right tools. You don't need to pay $300 for a software that's going to give you all this complicated data that you don't know how to analyze. Like I said, for Amazon dropshippers, all we're really looking for is the BSR, the bestseller rank, and the estimated monthly sales, all of which is provided utilizing AMZScout as well. Click the link below in the description for a free trial if you want to be able to check that out. And then fifthly, which is probably the most important, product research. Know what the BSR is, understand how to analyze it, and always remember that sometimes the BSR is not 100% indicative in regards to whether or not a product actually sells. So selling on Amazon in 2025 really isn't hard. It's not as difficult as you might seem. It's not going to require as much time as what you might think. It's just that you don't know the right ways and you don't know the right things that you need to be focusing on to generate the most amount of ROI for the time that you put into actually starting your Amazon business. For example, one of my students, Christian, he was my first student to reach $1 million in total sales in his first 10 months of starting his Amazon business, on top of his 9-to-5 job and also having 3 kids. And his second full year of selling on Amazon, he just wrapped up 2024 with over $4.75 million in total sales in the year of 2024, utilizing the exact strategies, everything that I went through with you guys, but also the in-depths of what our mentorship process teaches every single one of our students, because we do hold our hand. It's a done with you type of mentorship. They're not left to just simply make sure that they can scale on their own. I place a high amount of accountability on myself to also ensure every single one of my students are also going to be successful as well with their own Amazon stores. So no matter where you are in terms of your learning or the amount of experience you have with selling on Amazon, or the amount of time that you have available to put towards this, usually about 1 to 2 hours a day is all I really require from my mentorship students. You too can be able to make results like this. It just comes down to having the right implementation and having the right strategies to ensure that you're going to be successful with it. So selling on Amazon in 2025 is very doable. It's very scalable. It's very profitable. It all really just comes down to ensuring that you have the right strategies in place to ensure that you're actually going to be successful, even if it's a new venture or if you're looking to scale to new and higher levels as well. So with that being said, I am planning on being a little bit more consistent with this YouTube channel in 2025. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the post notifications, and if you want to check out all the links that I talk about inside of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.